So in section 5, and I briefly went over that section 4, where we're going to actually just use those to actually equate. So just to recap, finding the x-intercepts is important to remember that when you when the direction requires a sentence, I need for you to kind of write down and star. And when the direction says plotting using the intercept, we must use the x and y intercepts in order to graph. A lot of students on the test, I get their response, well, Mr. Hanson, my line is straight. It looks exactly like there. But once again, the answer, the directions from My Mapper Plus wants you to plot just the points on the x and y axis only. Nothing floating on the outside or space, I would say. It has to be strictly on the line to get the problem right. Make sure they're in order pair form. Again, for the y-intercept, the numbers in the y spot with the 0 with the x. For the x-intercept, the numbers in the x spot, and then you have 0 for the y. So here is exactly what the directions is going to say. Graph the linear equations by finding and plotting its intercepts. That's what you need to write down and highlight and pay very close attention to them, because we're just strictly doing the intercepts. So we actually worked this problem like before. We're just going to solve for y and get y by itself. We're going to put it right in our calculator. I know my MyMathLabs Plus, what they'll do is in the viewing example, they will tell you to plug in 0 for x to get your y, and then they'll tell you to plug in 0 for y to get your to x. That's, again, that is plan B if you want to do it that way, because again, sometimes the calculator won't give you the fraction if need be. But my suggestion is, if you just change it to move this 4x over to the right side by subtracting, and then divide everything by -6, you have y equals I think -4 plus 4 over 6 would reduce to 2/3 x. You put that in your calculator, hit y equals, and it'll give you these points here, 6, 0, 4, 0, -4, and we plot it. So this is what I'm talking about. These are the 2 points here and here that we got from our calculator, and those are the zeros. That's what my MyMathLabs Plus is looking for. If you happen to plot this one and this one, or this one and this one, yes, it's on the line, but the whole problem will be marked incorrect because you did not plot it using the intercepts. That's the only stressful thing in this section. Everything else should be pretty much the same thing. It's just making sure that you plot and put it on the x and y axis. So that's all the slides I have. I'm going to go ahead and go to my here. I'm talking about graph equation. It says x equals 6. That looks weird. That's what the graph looks like, but again, it's in the whiteboard. -6y. So here's my y. Again, I'm going to get y by itself. So I notice with the y, for this particular one, I have to get y by itself. So 6 has to go. So I'm not doing adding 6. I'm not doing that because they're side by side. Remember that's being multiplied together. So if it's being multiplied together, the opposite of multiplication is going to be division. So we take the -6 and divide it on both sides. So that cancels. That leaves me with y on this side. And you can just leave it as a fraction. You can put negative. You can leave it as x. All those would be exactly the same thing as far as putting it into the calculator. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to y equals. I'm going to clear out what I have. So -1 divided by 6x. We're going to hit second and graph. And we're going to look for those zeros. Now for this particular one here, I'm glad I picked this example. Remember, we're looking for a 0 on this side and a 0 on this side, but this here, this one example has a 0 exactly on both sides, which means it goes through the origin. So our first one is going to be 0, 0. And it's I know my computer is lagging, so I'll kind of slow down a little bit to make sure it catches up. But y'all can still see me. Thumbs up. So y'all can hear me. Okay. So happens where all you have to really do, don't pick any decimals. Pick the one that a number you will this one. So 6 and -1 is probably one. So we do 6, -1, and it goes to the origin. Just pick again because particular one here, it goes through the origin. There won't be the line won't actually go through the when that happens, just pick another order pair and the decimal pick the graph. We go to our line tool. So the first one we found was 0, 0. We're going to click. And the next one we found 6 and then -1. Here and go through y-axis or the x-axis. So and for this particular problem, which is pick another one, hit save. We're going to check answer. And we should be good. The good ones you're going to have to go through either the y and the x, so make sure you plot it going through those. If it goes through the origin, just pick another point and you'll be fine by just plotting those points. Click our line tool, and this is for x equals -9. And again, it does not matter which point. I can pick this one up here, or I can this one. So long as the line is straight up, my MATLAB will accept it as far as being the right answer. Rest of the half of the section, I think this will conclude section 5.